G5 Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video. Support your boy. Support good content at all times. Now, HBO falling on hard times to the point to where I feel like I have to do a whole series on how to revamp HBO Boxing. As a boxing fan, I want to see Showtime succeed. I want to see HBO succeed. I want to see ESPN and any other channel or network that wants to get into boxing. I want to see everybody succeed because that means more fights, more exposure for the sport. Now, when it comes down to HBO, I've already done part 1 of how to revamp HBO Boxing. If you have not seen it, definitely check it out on the channel. And it was basically to fire Jim Lampley. If you want to know why I said that, go check the video out. Now, this episode is part 2 of how to revamp HBO Boxing. And part 2 is going to be based on HBO getting rid of the pay-per-view model. They have to get rid of the pay-per-view model. Over the past couple of years, they've been putting fights on HBO pay-per-view that Showtime puts on their regular programming. I mean, there's some fights that's on HBO pay-per-view on the undercard that would be on ShowBox on Showtime. And HBO they have to change the landscape, not only as a boxing network, but the politics of boxing. They have to change the landscape with that as well. The reason why they're in this rut right now and they're not really seen as a top boxing network right now is because they've allowed these promoters and these managers, Bob Arum, Al Heyman, to dictate what they do, because HBO was solely focused on promoting fighters and not promoting the sport of boxing. Politics in boxing is the elephant in the room. You can't get around it. But even though HBO has been in a bad spot for a while, and Showtime is definitely leading the charge in boxing right now, if they make these moves, HBO will be right back in the mix. Right back in the mix. They need to get rid of this pay-per-view model that they have, and they need to take it back to the essence of HBO Boxing. And what I mean by the essence is these fights that they're putting on pay-per-view, they need to put them on regular HBO Boxing. That's number one. They have built plenty of stars in their history without using the pay-per-view model. And the most notable name in HBO Boxing history is Roy Jones Jr. They made him an absolute superstar without any pay-per-view. So it can be done. The one thing that HBO has going for them is, regardless of how bad they've been in terms of boxing, they still have more subscribers than Showtime. And the last time I checked, HBO still has the cash cow under their belt in Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez does more numbers than anyone that's on Showtime. Point blank, period. Even Triple G would do more TV ratings than anyone that's on Showtime right now. So it wouldn't take a lot for HBO to get right back in the mix. And the way the world is, it don't take long for people to jump back on the bandwagon. If they get rid of the pay-per-view model and they put a HBO card up, a stacked HBO card, stacked, with Canelo Alvarez headlining that card, and they have 2 other fights on there that are good fights, the boxing public is going to be right back on the bandwagon. HBO puts on a major card, 3 good fights, and they cap it off with a Triple G main event on free HBO, not pay-per-view, the boxing public is going to be right back at it. And I do understand the budget situation. And Showtime is doing their thing right now. Don't get me wrong. But Showtime doesn't have the superstar. They don't have the showstopper. They don't have the cash cow. HBO has that. So they can get right back in the mix. They don't have to put on as many shows as Showtime. They just have to make sure that the shows that they put on are stacked. And they're putting a top guy as the main event, and that whole card is stacked from top to bottom. If they do that, they'll be right back in the mix, and that'll be a start of the return of HBO Boxing. Now, this is part 2 of how to revamp HBO Boxing. I got another probably 28 more to go because they need a lot of work. But y'all let me know what y'all think. G5 Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Please share this video. Support your boy. Support good content at all times. Appreciate y'all. Peace.